Greetings, seekers of truth, and a warm welcome to the morale. What if you could disappear? Not physically, but mentally, getting so deeply absorbed in an activity that the world around you simply fades into a blur. Imagine a state where your creative energy flows without effort, and time itself seems to fly by in an instant. In today's deep dive, we are exploring the architecture of the human mind through the lens of a revolutionary masterpiece, Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. Today, you will learn the secrets of the zone, how scientists, factory workers, and even prisoners have achieved deep satisfaction without chasing money or fame. Let's begin. Chapter 1: Hiding with Eyes Open. Have you ever stopped to ask if the things you rely on for security are actually just a cover to hide from a merciless world? We seek solace in faith, religion, and luxury. From a distance, life seems so short, yet when we look closer, we realize we are often trapped. We turn to Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, or 1,000 other belief systems to find rules and meaning. We chase wealth, power, and fame, believing that once we have them, everything will be correct. But soon, the hard questions return. History teaches us a brutal lesson. Great empires once thought they controlled their own destiny. The Romans believed their peak was untouchable. Before the Mongol invasion, the Chinese civilizations thought everything was under their absolute control. Yet both collapsed. Their certainties could not save them. Today, we live in luxuries that previous generations could not even imagine. We have smartphones, fast cars, and endless options. Yet we see more stress and more loneliness than ever before. A fat bank account is no guarantee of happiness. Psychiatrists are seeing more wealthy patients who are depressed and lost than ever before. This book reveals why emptiness cannot be kept at bay by external changes. The time you spend trying to impress others with wealth will eventually disappear. Claiming powerful titles often increases inner emptiness rather than fulfillment. True meaning cannot be bought or inherited. You must look within yourself and face life's indifference. You must find focus and purpose in what you do, and stop hiding in the shadows of luxury or faith. Only then can you build a life of real feeling.
Chapter 2: The Hidden Drive. Have you ever wondered why we instinctively prefer instant treats and simple fun over healthy challenges? The truth is, our genes have programmed us to prefer mediocrity. They push us towards short-term rest and easy pleasure because they don't care about our growth. They only care about our survival. Our attention is limited, and humans naturally gravitate towards small, immediate rewards. A sugary snack, a mindless TV show, or a drink at the end of the day. These things give us a sense of safety and rest. They ask nothing of us. But true enjoyment is fundamentally different. It asks us to stretch ourselves. It demands focus and skill. Think about the effort required to cook a new, complex recipe. It takes patience to learn, experimentation with flavors, and deep concentration. When the result is good, you feel a surge of pride. That is true enjoyment. Yet, most of us choose the path of least resistance. We spend our evenings scrolling through phones or binge-watching shows with simple plots. We use alcohol or distractions to lower our stress. While this lowers stress initially, there is no growth. This book shows that true enjoyment is the only thing that helps us achieve big goals and take control of our attention. To find deep satisfaction, we must learn to stand against our own primal instincts. By including true enjoyment in your small daily behaviors, you will feel your life become more colorful almost instantly.
Chapter 3: Finding the Zone. Have you ever been so engaged in a task that you couldn't even tell where the time went? People from entirely different cultures describe this feeling using the same words. This isn't just pleasure, it is enjoyment. Enjoyment occurs when your skill level and a real challenge meet in a state of perfect balance.
When this happens, you understand exactly what to do and you see the results immediately. Consider the life of a surgeon. They perform precise, high-stakes operations where they must monitor every drop of blood. Removing a diseased organ is immediate proof of their success, leading to a profound sense of satisfaction. Compare this to an internal medicine practitioner. They have clear goals, but they don't get immediate feedback. They must wait weeks or months for a patient to improve. To find flow, they must set separate, smaller goals, like making a perfect diagnosis. Think of rock climbers. They face literal, life-threatening danger, but they find joy in testing their skills. They measure every handhold and foothold, focusing so intensely that fear is pushed aside. Researchers have even studied Melanesian sailors who, after being blindfolded and taken far out to sea, could pinpoint their location with staggering accuracy. They didn't do it with tools. They did it by feeling the water currents with their entire awareness. This level of emotion and focus frees us from fear. Action and awareness merge. This book will help you find your unique goal and show you how to capture small wins quickly, allowing you to enter the zone in your everyday life.
Chapter 4. Mind Games. Imagine walking into an old shop in Naples and seeing a beautiful sculpture. When you ask the shopkeeper the price, he quotes an impossibly high amount. When you finally agree to pay, he suddenly tells you it isn't for sale. Why? Because he enjoyed the mental fight, the game of bargaining. It sharpened his thinking and his skills. We only grow when we face challenges that match our skills. Take a beginner in tennis. Initially, just hitting the ball over the net is a fun challenge, but as they improve, that becomes boring. They must find a more skilled opponent to push their limits. However, if they choose an opponent far above their level, they will feel lost and give up. The key is the balance. Real growth requires personal meaning, not external rewards like money or praise. The best challenges come from things you truly love. Take the ceramic artist Eva Zeisel. Stalin's police sent her to a Soviet prison where she had nothing, yet she refused to let her mind wither. She played chess against herself in her mind. She memorized her own poems. She secretly performed gymnastics in her cell. These self-made mental games kept her fresh, optimistic, and growing, even in a horrific environment. You can use this same principle. Create a mental game for your boring work or your hobby. Push yourself step by step, and you will be amazed at how fast you can grow. Chapter 5. Tuning In. Have you ever considered how much you could learn just by the act of walking? Most of us walk on autopilot just to get from point A to point B. But imagine if every step was an opportunity to learn. When you pay attention, you notice the architectural shapes of buildings, the texture of old walls, the conversations around you, and the air on your skin. With this sensory discipline, even a boring task becomes an adventure. This same technique applies to music. Most of us play songs in seconds, but never go deep. The book suggests 3 levels of listening. Sensory, feeling the beat and the bass with your body. Analogic, letting images float in your mind, like traveling through a forest with a Tchaikovsky sleigh. Analytic, understanding the structure and comparing the notes to other styles. These modes require controlling your attention. Taking tools from ancient wisdom, like yoga, we learn that aimless but disciplined study and breath control can help us steer our focus. In short, simple actions, walking, listening, breathing, can bring clear awareness to every moment of your existence. Chapter 6. Mind Mastery. Can you train your mind like an athlete trains their body? Our memory and thoughts are tools that can be shaped. Many people find enjoyment in sports, but you don't need a stadium to reach that state. Your mind can play its own game. Look at crosswords. Instead of just solving them, try designing them yourself. Set the rules and choose the words. This encourages the mind to create patterns and enter a flow state. Your conversation will become more playful, and small talk will turn into a fun exchange. You can also train your memory.
Choose a topic, a line of poetry, or the history of a great war, and read deeply. When you recall these facts later, your brain rewards you with a feeling of victory and a deeper connection to life. Great minds have always found happiness this way. Bertrand Russell found joy by forgetting his own flaws and diving into external knowledge. Isaac Newton developed the theory of gravity while alone on a farm. Gregor Mendel discovered genetics in a quiet garden. Albert Einstein built his theories in his free time while working at a patent office. They all played mind games. They all found flow. Start today by memorizing a shopping list or creating a word challenge with friends. Use your mind like a muscle.
Chapter 7. Work is play. Is it possible for work to actually be fun? Many people view their jobs as a hassle, waiting only for the weekend to rest. But those who find flow treat work as a game. In a small village in the Italian Alps, elderly farmers never thought of their labor as work. They woke at 5 a.m. to milk cows and pick herbs, and they were profoundly happy. Work can be your greatest source of flow, a state where you lose track of time and think with peak creativity. Consider a railroad car welder on an assembly line. Instead of chasing a promotion, he treated every weld as a challenge to his own skill. He turned his job into a game. When he went home, he didn't need to escape his life because he was already fulfilled. To get flow in your work, set meaningful goals. Aim to learn every part of your job. Try to beat your own best performance. Don't chase money, chase your own growth. If you start thinking of work as a challenge instead of a chore, you will enter the flow state every single morning. Chapter 8. Deep Bonds. Have you ever noticed how a 5-minute chat with a true friend can completely reset your mood? We spend much of our lives alone, which can lead to boredom and worry. Strong family bonds are the cure. A healthy family knows each person's strength, is fair, and shares long-term goals. Like birds building a nest, families create a space where children see skills in action and want to try for themselves. Friends also bring out our creative side. In true conversation, we share our real selves, our dreams, and our laughter. This increases confidence and motivation. Neighbors and community provide the final layer of peace. If you ignore them, you miss the chance for growth. Look at the Indian tribes of Canada. They built villages where food was plentiful, but each generation moved to new places to learn new ways of hunting. This kept their skills sharp and their energy fresh. Invest in your circle. Send a message to a family member, invite a friend for coffee, or join a local group. These simple steps open the door to the joy of shared flow. Chapter 9. New Focus. What happens to your mind when something goes wrong? When your computer crashes or your train stalls, you might ask, why me? This leads to a peak of anxiety. This book offers 3 steps to grow from trouble. Drop your ego. Remember that machines and setbacks have their own rules. They aren't against you personally. Follow the rules and believe you can solve the problem. Practice mindfulness. Think of Charles Lindbergh crossing the Atlantic alone. He didn't panic. He focused on every lever, knob, and weld of his plane. This attention kept his fear at bay. Turn setbacks into a new path. If you are passed over for a promotion, don't let jealousy consume you. Instead of fighting your ego, take a different direction. Start your own project or find a new company. Focused attention reduces anxiety and gives you a broader view of your options. With practice, you will see every roadblock as a new adventure and every hiccup as a learning opportunity. Chapter 10. A Life Worth Living. Where does meaning come from? The great news is that meaning doesn't have to be found outside of yourself. You can create it. You can decide what your life means. It starts with setting one clear goal that ties everything together. The goal itself matters less than the challenge it provides. Look at Renaissance artists. They blended the physical world with spiritual depth, painting not just for money, but as part of a grand quest. But a goal is nothing without action. Many people have big ideas but never start. This is where resolve becomes crucial. Think of Antonio Gramsci, who could have lived a comfortable life, but turned the pain of his childhood into a purpose to fight injustice. Even when he died in prison, his voice echoed. Or Malcolm X, who made mistakes early in life but found books and his own voice while in prison. Their stories prove that a strong goal and the courage to take action can change the world. Ask yourself, what is your goal? What is stopping you? When your goal is clear and your actions are bold, your life will finally have meaning. So, what is the ultimate lesson of flow? A meaningful life does not come from chasing rewards or trying to impress others. Real happiness comes when you are fully present. It comes from finding that feeling where you are so absorbed in a task that your ego disappears. Those who avoid hard things never grow. Those who embrace challenges become stronger and know themselves anew. To use this in your life, learn everything you can about your job. Try to work better and faster. At the end of the day, turn off the screen. Start a project with friends, join a class, or build something with your hands. The message is clear. Life will feel more beautiful the moment you stop waiting and start taking action. Focus your energy, enjoy the moments, and keep growing steadily. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the psychology of optimal experience. If this summary touched your thoughts, please like the video and tell us in the comments what activity makes you lose track of time. Subscribe to The Morale to join our community of truth seekers. Until next time, stay focused and live fully.